Welcome to my store. Yeah. Okay. The different filters we have in the store. This is one type. This is a siphon overflow to a wet dry filter. Okay? It's got bioballs in it. It's also where we store the paint and the acetone. So, the water flows into this box here. You're going to make people twist and turn? Yeah, but son, when you go down, go down like this. And then come up like this. Okay? So, the water goes in here. It's siphoned over the top. Now, because air bubbles constantly get in here, we have this. It's hooked up to a venturi on the front of the pump. So if you come down here, we'll show you the pump. Okay? Shrink the legs.
How?
What do you mean, how? Turn them.
That's going to be a pain when we go back downstairs.
Not for me.
For me.
Yeah, I don't care. Pain for you is no pain for me. Okay. So here's the pump. Okay. On the front of the pump, I took the vacuum cleaner attachment and I drilled 2 holes. Okay. So what happens is when the pump sucks the water through here, it's slightly restricted, so it sucks water from these all the time. Therefore, if I take these...
Skimmer.
Yeah, but it ain't hooked up. If I take this out of the water, okay, so there's no water in that at all, and I set it down there, what do you think's magically going to happen?
It's going to start again.
See how it sucked all the air out of this chamber and sucked it through there and just starts to siphon right back up again. Okay? So this is a siphon overflow box. You got one box on the inside, one box on the outside. You don't have to drill a hole in your tank. Goes down here, there's a wet dry filter. The lid comes in through, water comes in through these holes and that hose. Trickles down through the pre-filter, through the bioballs, across, and protein skimmer's there when we, well, whenever I get around to setting that one up. And then it's pumped back up into the fish tank, and these little bubbles are from the water.
We need to put more water in it, that means.
We need to put more water in it. Okay, this here is a hospital tank. We had a yellow tank that, well, it looks pretty good now. He was a little scratched up. One of the other yellow tanks was beating him up. This here is a filter that goes inside the tank. Its motor unit is down in here, so it sucks the water through this slot, and then it pumps it up there. And then we have a sponge, and we have some fluff in there. And so it's a very inexpensive filter. It has to be inside the tank, though. But since basically filters are just moving water past media, everything works. Then we got the handy dandy fish tank. You might remember that from one of the earlier videos. Underneath this tube here is a sponge.
So it looks like this, kind of, somewhat, but it's not that.
Yeah, it looks roughly like that. So the water gets sucked in through the sponge and then up the pipe. The one in there is actually shaped like a 4-leaf clover. Okay? So it's under the gravel, so the water goes through the gravel, the bacteria live on the gravel, they live on the surface of the sponge. Disadvantage of that method is you have to take the tank apart every now and again to clean the sponge. In this kind of filter, all you do is you pull the media out and you wash it every now and again. You don't know which way to turn them. He's adjusting the tripod. Let me adjust it. Just go. Okay. Turn, pull, turn. Turn, pull, turn. Okay. He's falling in love with this tripod.
Yeah.
In this filter, you never change the bioballs. All you do is you take the pre-filter out, change it. Okay? Now, in this tank...
It's the same thing.
No, it isn't. This tank here is an Aquarium filter. Well, this is a land hermit crab. This is salt water, then they have a freshwater water dish.
But the salt water's leaked.
What?
The salt water leaks. Look how much water's in there.
Yeah, well, it's humid in there too. So in this filter, you have this little thing that you pull up. It's got a sponge on the bottom, a bag of carbon on the top. And because we have the cocoa fiber in here, it gets clogged up and dirty quite a bit. hermit crabs trotted around. Okay? So we normally leave a lid on this tank to keep the humidity high.
And this one you saw like in the last video.
Yeah, but this may not be the next video when we post it.
Whatever.
Oh,
This is our crayfish thing.
It has the bio whales. Well, let's go show the other one because we haven't put the pads in this one yet.
Okay. We'll bring the spinny thing.
Okay, in this tank, this is an eclipse filter. Now, we just put a piece of fluff in here because the water goes through there, the bacteria and the dirt collect on that, so they oxidize the ammonia. And then this bio wheel. It spins around, so it's constantly having the water go into it and then drain out of it as it spins. So it's vertical and just keeps going around. And this actually is a saltwater tank, even though it's 2 gallons. Okay, we use these for hospital tanks.
Same thing, same thing, same thing, different tank, same thing, different tank.
Okay, then here. This here's a canister filter. We're cycling this for a customer. He has his children's birthday party at the end of the week, and so we brought the filter here, we hooked it up, and it's got a chamber in here where the water goes down, across, through a sponge, through some bags of carbon, through some bioballs, ceramic tubes, up here, pumped back into the tank.
And then also in here.
Also in here, we have just this is a pump. I put this T on the end of it because the pump is starting to wear out and it was chattering. If you have some resistance on the water flow, it shuts it up. So I put a T that reduces the water flow a little bit, but it provides some back pressure, makes the chatter stop. Now this is just a piece of PVC pipe with a bunch of holes in it. I take some fluff, this stuff. We buy it in a 100-foot roll. It's polyester fabric, used for quilts. And so the water gets sucked in through that, and that's where the bacteria lives. In this pond here, underneath the rocks, that's what it is. It's attached to that pump to pump water up through the holes, but underneath it is basically just the fluff. Hello?
Adds on the phone.
How you doing?
As well as, there's also a pond filter in here.
So is tomorrow good?
Underneath, like as you can see, there's the grate there, and so it sucks in the
there
water
again,
through the
'cause,
grate,
go to
and then it's got some fluff, and then it filters everything out, and then the pump shoots it back in. It's the same thing.
There was no email as of this morning. I checked.
Goldfish.
I checked my email, yeah. My text messages? No, I never checked them. Yeah, when I hear the noise. What I'll do is I'll try to see if I can switch the other one around so that I go later to there, and because if I can only go there at 10, because I have to do it when I have a day where I have like 3, 4, 5 hours. Okay. Okay, bye.
I might not have to work tomorrow?
No, you have to work tomorrow. I might have to go to Brampton in the afternoon instead of the morning. Okay. So underneath there is a roll of fluff, and it's pumped up and out there for a waterfall effect. Okay, in here, it's kind of the same type of thing. Got the bio wheel, and what we did